Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeffrey Honneus, and I am the author of The Garden of Eden. I designed the colors on the cover of The Garden of Eden to look like a children's book, because we are all those children in the eyes of God. As a matter of fact, The Garden of Eden, being the beginning of the first book of the Holy Bible, may seem like a simple story to begin the Old Testament. However, it is far more than that. In truth, the Garden of Eden is still with us today. What Adam and Eve did was deceive God. When God asked them the simple question, "Have you eaten from the tree of which I commanded you not to eat?" Well, of course God knew what they had done. But this question was asked by God to hear whether Adam and Eve would be truthful with their Creator. But neither Adam or Eve confessed their wrongdoing, nor asked for God's forgiveness. Adam answered, "The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me the fruit from the tree and I ate it." Then God turned to Eve and asked, "What is this you have done?" And Eve answered, "The serpent deceived me and I ate." They each shifted the blame to someone other than themselves. God is a forgiving God. God is the truth. But when you do not live the truth and speak the truth, you cannot find God, who is the soul of truth. Think about it. God is forever ready to forgive his children for their wrongdoings. But when his children cannot forgive the wrongdoings of others in the altar of their heart with love, how then can any one of them expect that God will forgive them for their sins? Because Adam and Eve lied to God, he cursed the ground they walked on and cast them out of the Garden of Eden. What else could they expect for not being honest? Not only with God, but to themselves. As the ancient saying reminds us, "To thine own self be true." What do you think that means? If we cannot be honest in our interactions with others, how can we expect God to be with us in the most difficult times of our lives? It just doesn't work that way. If you do not make God your summer guest, do not expect his mercy in the winter of your life. Yes, the basic principle of the Garden of Eden is still with us today. The choice is ours. We can deny that God is our closest friend and depend upon our own strength to prevail, deceiving others and ourselves along the road of life. Or we can offer ourselves to God and have unshakable faith that God will uplift us in times of hardship. The 23rd Psalm begins with, "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And the third verse is, "He leads me beside the still waters." But God cannot lead anyone who is not willing to be led. Most people want to lead themselves. And that is where our problems begin, by not trusting in God, and worse, denying God as our shepherd. By so doing, we create obstacles for ourselves, which by their very nature delude us from discovering the kingdom of God. The greatest offering anyone can make to God is their own selves. Jesus symbolized this offering by himself being the blood sacrifice as the innocent lamb of Passover. What is important to realize is that although this world may be overpopulated with sinful and evil people, God always protects a chosen few of his children who live not self-righteously, but righteously, that is, in the eyes and judgment of God. Remember the words of Jesus, "Unless you be as a little child, you can no way enter into the kingdom of heaven." Little children are innocent. They do not judge or condemn. They do not find fault in the world. They are the most godly of all people, for they have trust and faith in all human beings. Be as a little child, with a sense of wonder, fresh and free, and the sincere desire to know the truth that will set you free. In life, your greatest achievement is to transfer your allegiance from objects of creation to God, your Creator. The Garden of Eden is a book of spiritual knowledge and of the most ancient wisdom known to man. In closing, let me say that God may be compared to the sun, which in daylight always shines above our heads. But we hold an umbrella over our heads which hides God from our view. And this umbrella is fabricated by our mental impressions, which create a curtain between us and God. Once we remove our mental beliefs that God is in some far-off place, the umbrella is removed, and God's sunshine fills our heart and mind with the truth of God's love. All we need to do is change our thinking to walk in the light of God. This book, I promise you, will intrigue you like none you have ever read. Enjoy the Garden of Eden, and may God be with you, my brothers and sisters. Goodbye for now.